I'm so excited to be with you all today to talk to you about FLIPGRID. FLIPGRID is one of my, I think it's like my top 2 tools, right? It just so happened that I think OneNote is my favorite tool, and FLIPGRID happened to be purchased or acquired by Microsoft, so it falls under the Microsoft category. So it's like Microsoft heaven because FLIPGRID is now a Microsoft product, ultimately, right? So I'm really excited because I've been on this FLIPGRID wagon since it first came out. In fact, the first FLIPGRID workshop I did for Miami-Dade County when I introduced it to the teachers in Dade, I think it was a digital learning day a couple years ago, and that was the first time that Dade County ever tried FLIPGRID, and I was super excited to share it because it was such it is such a powerful tool. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so okay, give me a sec here because I'm gonna have to move things around. Because I have to navigate between online, as you all know, and the desktop when I'm lots of screens to navigate between. So I want to make sure I have everything on one screen for you here. All right, so let me go ahead and now I can share.
Real quick, before you do that, I just want to say I'm asking everybody to please keep your microphone muted unless you have a question, and your questions can also go into the chat box. Thank you. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I hope I don't get too many pop-ups here. Okay, screen 1. There we go. Okay, success. All right, so I do need to open back up the view here. Where is the Teams view so I can see your faces? There we go. Hi, Miss Leslie Cooper. All right, so welcome again, everyone. Happy to be with you. And if you're just joining, hi, here, I turn my camera back on to say hi. I'm Michelle Singh. So happy to be presenting to you again today. So we're gonna talk all about FLIPGRID and amplifying student voice with FLIPGRID today. And just to make sure, make sure you're muted. Of course, you could come off mute to ask questions. We just don't want any background noise while presenting, just to make sure that everyone can hear, and the meeting is being recorded. And you should be familiar with your settings in Teams. If you need to raise your hand, there's a hand raise button. There's the button where you can put your messages in the chat. And of course, you could turn your microphone off and on. You can see those options there. All right, you can always access the meeting chat after the session is over on the left-hand side on the pane that says chat. Anything that's discussed here, you'll be able to see it in that meeting chat. So if there are any links shared, you can access it after the training. Oops. So again, I'm Michelle. I'm like bumping too fast. You could follow me on Twitter at SingNBCT. That's my Twitter hashtag. So I would love to stay in touch with you. I do post a lot of like updates about what's happening in the EdTech space. So give me a follow. All right, so FLIPGRID empowers every learner on the planet to share their voice and respect the diverse voices of others. It really is a tool that aligns with Microsoft's mission to empower everyone to achieve more. And it's a really simple tool. There are a couple steps, right? You create a topic. Your topic is whatever it is you want your students to listen to or to respond to. And then you share it with your students. They join with the code that you share or the QR code or the link that you share with them. And guess what? They record their response. It's literally like 3 steps to FLIPGRID. And I am going to walk you through those 3 steps today. And of course, talk about lots of classroom examples that you can use in your setting. So creating a topic, that's the first step. So when you go to if you don't already have a FLIPGRID account, please go ahead and sign up for a free, it is absolutely free, a free educator FLIPGRID account. Okay, it's a free platform. You can go to flipgrid.com and sign up for a free educator account. When you go to FLIPGRID, your default home screen is going to be your discussions. So you see here where my mouse is hovering. This is your toolbar at the top. Each of these areas take you to a different place in FLIPGRID, but you land under discussions, and those are all the topics that you've created for your students to respond to. So discussions house your assignments, your topics. So let's talk about creating that topic. Now, if you look down here, I have 2 categories. I have groups and I have topics. You can choose to create groups to organize your topics, right? So if you look here, I have groups, and in this group here that says the Education Fund, for example, I have 5 topics. In this group that says MDCPS, school site PDs, I have 6 topics. In this one that says Microsoft trainings, I have 6 topics. And you can see how I've organized my topics by groups. So you can choose to create a group. And when you create a group, it's just a bunch of topics together that fall under that category. So when you choose to create a group, you would name your group and you would set the permissions for your group. This is basically how you want people to access all the topics in your group. Do you want to require that students use their Dade School's email to log in, which is the safest way, right? Or do you want to have usernames? If you have younger students that may not know their emails, you can use that username option. If you use Google Classroom, that's the option there to get in. If you want to make it public, maybe you are creating a FLIPGRID for parents, for like having a place for parents to do, to respond, you know, to maybe help topics, right? Or they're giving tips for their kids. Maybe that's how you, or maybe you have mentors leaving your students messages or guest speakers, then you would make it public. But I would not recommend making your student topics public at all. I would use either the student email or the student username, because public will make their videos viewable to everybody in the world. You don't want that. You want to protect their privacy. And then you can down here at the bottom, you can add an image to customize what your group topic looks like. They have lots of fun, colorful options to choose from, but you can upload your own as a JPEG or PNG. So those are the easy steps to create your group if you choose to create a group. But you don't have to. If you don't want to group and organize, you see how mines are organized? You don't have to do that. It is totally up to you. If you want to just create topics and just go with topics, you can do that as well. So if you could see here, I have 106 topics. You could just create topics without putting them in a group. Topics can stand alone. So when you create your topic, I'm going to go here to the right-hand side where it says add topic. There are just a few steps that you have to take. And your topic is what that assignment is, or that activity is that you want your students to complete. So you title your topic, you then put whatever the prompt is. So maybe this is a book talk, right? So we're doing a book talk, and the book talk is about their eyes. We're watching God. Oh, I've limited my character. So you see here, that's good. That's good that it did that, because I could point that out. 35 characters. So you got to keep your topics short. So I use the abbreviation. And then here's my question. I have 1,000 characters to write my question or my discussion topic, whatever it is I want. So I want the students to discuss the transformation of Janie Crawford from the beginning. Sorry, my computer is like typing slow and my keyboard is not keeping up. Beginning to, you know, the end, or whatever I decide to write. So I want them to talk about her transformation. And then I want them to include specific, you know, quotes from the text, right? So here's my topic, here's my title, and I spelled the incorrectly. Let me fix that. And so I can add media resources to make my topic pop, to make it and to even add support for students. So let's say I record a video where I give them an example. I can add that as a media reference. Let's say I upload an image. I can add that as you know, a reference for students. I can use any of these options here to add a reference, for a media reference or resource to engage the students in the topic. If you can see here, there is even integrations with other applications. Like if you use Nearpod and you had a Nearpod lesson, you could integrate it as part of your topic, a Kahoot as well. Maybe you have a Google Slides presentation or something from your Microsoft account. But look how many integrations are there that you can pull from to add these references to your students. So I'm just going to add a quick GIF just to, I'm just going to, girl, I don't know, I'm just typing anything here. So I just want to add, let's add Raven. Where's Raven? Sure, we'll just add Raven, just to add her. I just want you to see how it shows up. All right, so after you have decided on what your title, your prompt is, you've added whatever media reference or resource you want to add to your students to give them as support, or to just, you know, add it to your topic so it can pop. Then this is where you'll decide your permissions. Now remember, keep in mind that if you are putting this topic in a group, it will inherit whatever the group permissions were. Remember when I showed you the group permissions, it had those 4 options for you to choose. So if this topic is a part of the group, it will inherit the group permissions. But if you are creating this topic as a standalone, you would decide on which permission you want. So if you were to choose student email, look what happens down here. This is very important. It's going to ask you what your domain is. Okay? Your domain would be at dateschools.net, because it's going to limit anyone who does not have a dateschools.net, they will not be able to access this FLIPGRID topic. So this is, again, extra protection for your students when you know, they're logging into your FLIPGRID, or when they're accessing videos for this topic. So that's why it's important to use a student email, because it really ensures their safety. Only people with the dateschools.net email can access this grid if you choose that student email option. So keep that in mind. I mean, you could type in more. Let's say you were creating this topic for the students, and maybe you have some kind of partnership with Miami-Dade College, and you have some people from Miami-Dade College, you know, also accessing your topic. You can also put another one at mdc.edu, and you could put multiple, but just note that only people whose email addresses end in these domains will be able to access your FLIPGRID topic. Okay, if you choose the student username option, you would have to type in the first and last name, enter the usernames your students will use to join the topic. You can use the template that they have, or let's say you upload a CSV file, you can upload it, but you would have to enter that information for your students. So if you teach like littles and you know they don't have email, and you create a CSV for your 30 kids or 25 kids, and they have, you know, their first last names, and you give them all usernames that are really simple for them to remember when they're logging into their FLIPGRID, you can upload it as a CSV and it will auto-generate, or you can type in that one time, you know, you could type that in for them. Okay, so just showing you these options. Of course, public is public. There's nothing required for public. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you down here, whether you create a student or a username, you'll have this option that says guest password. This one is quite helpful, right? Because the guest, and you get to put whatever you want that guest password to be. So let's say you created this topic, your students are responding, and now you want to share this with parents during open house or something. You can create a guest password for parents to access the information and even record videos. And it could be whatever you type. So when the parents log into FLIPGRID, it's not going to require them to sign in with @dateschools.net because they don't have an @dateschools.net. All they would have to do is enter the guest password that you've put in. So I'm going to actually type in the word parents here as my guest password so you can see it, so I can show you what that looks like in the end. All right. Let me pause here to see if you have any questions about the title and the permissions. Those are the two big parts, the titles and the permissions.
All right. I do have a question, Michelle.
Yes, go ahead.
If we're using Teams, and I know we can link the FLIPGRID app there,
Yep.
What would be best in terms of the permissions? Because I'm working with second graders.
Your students, your second graders have to go into Office 365
right,
to access Teams. So I would just go ahead and use the Date Schools. I would say use the Date Schools email. Do your second graders they know how to access their email at all, or do they know an email address?
Their email, no. They know how to get into Teams and to Office 365, but that's it.
So I would say, honestly, if they don't know the email, then go with the username. Because Teams is not linked to their email per se, right? They have to, they just click on that link in their portal. They sign in with their ID number through the portal. So maybe you create their usernames as their ID number.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Right? Because they know it to sign into the portal.
Yeah, and that would be keep it consistent.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I'm glad we walked through that. All right. Any other questions? Okay, so we're good so far. Audrey, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I have my hand up. Sorry, I was coming off mute. So there's 2 questions in the chat. I don't know if you've answered them because I had to step away. Can all of this be done from a mobile device?
Can you create a topic from a mobile device? There is a mobile app for FLIPGRID, but I would just recommend creating your topics and doing everything from the web, because the mobile app is really limited to just the recordings, right? You can view, it doesn't have the educator dashboard view, which is what I'm seeing right now.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Crespo?
I'm specifically asking about when we want to record some content for them to see. Can that be done on our mobile phones?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Perfect. And you could even record using your regular iPhone or your regular video and upload it into a FLIPGRID video. So, awesome. So Mr. Crespo, look here. You see how it says upload a video? If you you could upload something you recorded outside of FLIPGRID into the resource. Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions from the chat, Audrey? Thanks for monitoring, because I haven't looked at it.
Yes, no problem. So then Ms. McCoy had a question. Can you use both the email and the username?
You would have to choose one. It's not going to allow you to choose both, Ms. McCoy. So you would just decide which one. But every topic you get to choose which one you want. So you may want a topic to be for username. You may want one to be for student email. I would just say keep it consistent, though, because you don't want to confuse the students. So just keep it consistent and just let them sign in one way, you know, for all of the things that you create. Okay. All right, good question so far. All right, so the last part that I want to talk about here is the topic essentials, and it's the topic moderation. This is if you want to moderate. This is if you want to approve topics before they appear for everyone to see. So you could turn this feature off or on. It's totally up to you. You would, if you are getting responses from 30 kids and they're also replying, you would get like an email every time a response is posted on your FLIPGRID. So, if you know your students, are you going to need to moderate for them acting a fool?
Exactly.
If that's the case, then you may want to turn this feature on, right? To double check that they're not posting anything that is not fitting for your class, right? Here, you can also choose a time frame for your recording. It goes from 15 seconds to 10 minutes. Totally up to you and whatever it is you are asking them to complete. Some teachers choose the longer time frame because this may be their science project that they are explaining. So they may need a full 10 minutes to do that, right? Versus just a quick book discussion that takes 2 minutes. So you choose a time frame. Over here where it says comments, you choose whether you want to enable video and text comments. That is where the students can reply to each other. They can respond to each other's videos in video format and text format. So you choose if you want to turn this feature off or on, and if you want text only, video only, or both. So you can leave these settings as is or adjust them as needed. There are more options, but these are not anything that you really need to adjust. You can kind of keep them with the default, but just know that there's there are more options. So once you add your details, right, adjust your permissions, and decide if you want moderation and whatever your time frame is, you create your topic. What did I not do? Oh, look, I didn't follow instructions. My guest password needs to be 8 characters long. Okay, so parents, there we go. Exclamation mark. I think I'm good now. And so I'm going to create my topic. So it's creating my topic. And now my topic is ready. How do I share this with students? Well, easy peasy. If you use Teams, you can use the app in Teams, right? You know how you can add in Teams in the channel, you can add as a tab, you can add FLIPGRID as a tab. If you're using like Google Classroom, look here, you can just use that integration right there. You can also, if you're using Remind, you can add to Remind. That Teams integration is also right there, but ultimately you can share a link or a QR code, right, that your students can use to access this presentation and this lesson. And what does it look like? So let's take a look at what it looks like and what the students will see. So you notice here how it's going to ask to join. They have to log in because remember, we set the settings so that they have to have an @dateschools.net or @ndc.edu to log in. But remember, we also did a guest password. So you see, I can enter my guest password, parents with the apostrophe, and it will take me in. So that guest password is like, again, if you have parents and you want the parents to access, or if you want anyone outside of Date Schools to access, you would give a guest password. Anyone else with that domain at Date Schools would have to sign in with their email. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Here's your title. Here is your prompt. And guess what? Now, and this is your media. So whatever you have as your media resource will show up like this. Okay, and guess what? All the students will do is click record and they'll be able to record their response. I also want to show you something else that's really cool about FLIPGRID. Because it's a Microsoft product, it has integration with Immersive Reader. So guess what? The students can click on the Immersive Reader and look at this. It will read the text out loud for them. It will read out loud. So you see here.
Discuss the transformation of Janie Crawford from the beginning to the end. Include specific quotes from the text.
Right? It reads it. And remember, with Immersive Reader, it also has up here in the top right, it has translation options. There are 64 languages here that your students can choose from if they need to, right? And it will translate that text. So let's say I do Spanish from Spain. I can translate the document, and everything that was just read out loud in English, guess what? Now it's in español.
Analicen la transformación de Janie Crawford desde el principio hasta el final.
Isn't that cool? so they can use that immersive reader feature to have the text read out loud. All right, so this is the topic. Now the students respond. They will record a response. So clicking on the camera, now we're gonna see the FLIPGRID camera at work. They would of course allow it to use the microphone and the camera. I think, let me see here. Oh, you know what? I'm in an incognito window, so it's not going to open up. That's fine. I'm going to show you the camera in another view. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to make sure you saw what the topic looks like when it's complete. So that's pretty much the steps to create your topic, right? So you create your topic and then you set your access, okay? And then your students can start to respond to your topics. So what I want to do is show you the FLIPGRID camera, because the FLIPGRID camera has some pretty awesome features, like totally different from any other camera your students will use. So we're going to look at the camera with the new fonts and filters and frames and boards and stickers. And there's lots. Well, we'll talk about those things in a second, but let's go back to the camera so we could do that. Oh, I don't want that. All right, so let's go back here to the camera. I'm gonna jump here from discussions because I want to show you another thing that's really cool with FLIPGRID. It just totally knocked me out of all of my websites. So sorry about that. Let me go back in. See, technical difficulties. My computer's been running fine all day. All day it's been fine. Okay, so are you guys frozen?
I'm seeing her.
I think everything froze. So just
I'm
give me.
seeing you.
You're seeing? Okay.
Oh, I'm hearing you and seeing the screen.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay. I think my computer just shorted. 1 second. So it kicked me out of the browsers that I had open. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. So let me come back here. I'm still sharing the screen, but I have to log back into all the sites that I was on. All right, let me just come back here to FLIPGRID so that I could just show you the camera. Sorry about that. You know how technology is. You have to adjust. Keep going. All right, so let me log back in really quickly here. So what I wanted to show you in your dashboard here, we talked about discussions and how your topics, any topics that you have will show up under your discussion. But I want to jump to the one that says shorts. Shorts is the name of the FLIPGRID camera, just so you know. It's called the Shorts camera. And the Shorts camera allows you to not only respond in FLIPGRID topics, but it allows you to record short little videos that are 10 minutes long max that you can share with your students. So let's say you wanted to do like a welcome message, a morning message to your students every morning. You can do it with the Shorts camera. Let's say you wanted to do a screen recording to show the students how to do something. You can do it with the Shorts camera because it allows for you to record your screen as well. Let's say you wanted to do something for the parents and send home a message for the parents. You can do it with the Shorts camera. So the Shorts camera can stand on its own and allow you, the teacher, to record little short clips, video clips that you can easily send to parents, students, families, whomever, and it's easily shareable because it generates its own link. Okay. Oh, finally it worked. All right. So here's the Shorts camera, and you're seeing my little doggy because I don't have my Teams background. You see my doggy paws right there. He's asleep. Anyway, so the Shorts camera, let's talk about all of the fun things that you get with the Shorts camera. So I'm going to click down here at the bottom and look at all of the effects that you have. So you have filters, And everything I'm showing you is what's in the FLIPGRID camera, because the shorts camera is the FLIPGRID camera. So look at all the filters that students can use. So Mr. Crespo, you had said that you didn't want, you're camera shy basically, right? Guess what? If students or adults are camera shy, they can record, but they can use the filters to, to hide their faces if they need to, right? So there are filters there. I'm gonna go back. And look, there's text. So guess what? I can add some text to my screen, right? So I can add some text. Oh, let me go back. I can do some inking. Look at this. Digital inking right on the camera, right on the screen. I can use the board. I think the board is one of my favorite things because it allows the students to be versatile. Take a look at what you can do with the board. I can do split screen. If I'm the student and I'm talking about this book talk, I can use the inking tools, the text tools, and I can be talking about the topic and just use digital inking because I can write using the board. You see, I'll have all these different options for board. If I want to work out a math problem, guess what? I have the graphing paper. And then if I'm a student that likes to be on camera because I may need to show something, I can split the screen so that the board is on one side where I'm using the board and I am here on the other side and it's recording both me and the board. So that board option is really, really cool. There's options for stickers. There are options for, I keep exiting out. Even frames. Oh, the frames are, and you can even add photos as well. The frames are super cool. Look at the frames. I think this one, I like this one. Look how it's going to change the look. So it adds a frame. I like this one as well. This colorful one here. Look, how cool is that? So the students are recording their video using all of this, and you also get to record your video using all of this. So you can hit record in using the shorts camera, utilize all of these effects while you're recording your video. And then once you're finished recording your video, it's shareable in the shorts camera, in that shorts option, shareable via a link. And if the students are recording it via the FLIPGRID topic, it automatically posts it in the FLIPGRID topic. So I want to show you these options here. I want to show you here where it says upload clip, mic only, mirror video. So upload clip is if you have a video and you want to just add it and then add it and make it a FLIPGRID shorts video. Mic only turns off your camera and just allows you to talk. So this is the camera shy option. Mirror the video just flips it. You saw how it flipped so my door is now on the right. You see how it flips it? And then mute, obviously mute is mute. Record screen would be those screen recordings if you wanted to show like your students how to navigate FLIPGRID because you want them to use it. So you would basically just turn on whatever features you want, use the options, and hit record. And it gives you a nice countdown. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle. I'm doing a quick recording here to show you all about FLIPGRID. We're going to talk about the wonderful effects of FLIPGRID, like the board. And I want to show you what that whiteboard looks like here. So I'm going to select the whiteboard. And guess what? I'm going to appear right here on the screen. And I want to add some more color. So I'm going to do some inking on the whiteboard. Look at that. And guess what? I pause it. Okay, and once, if I want to keep going, I can keep going. It goes up to 10 minutes. This is for the shorts. It then allows you to edit. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle. I'm doing a quick recording here to show you. Okay, so you can have those effects going while you're recording the video. Okay, you can create those effects while you're recording the video. Then you would like select a frame for the selfie if you want, or you can take a selfie or upload a photo. That's what's going to be on the main screen for that video. So if I select a frame, let's just say I select that as the frame, confirm. Okay, I can put a description, and then when I hit confirm, it uploads my video and it creates this shorts video for me. And guess what? It's easily shareable. I can share it via a link in any of these options, and I can share that nice video that I just created for my students, for the parents, for the families, in whatever way I would want to share it. And all your videos that you create as shorts, they'll populate here on your screen for you to have access to them, to share them, and, you know, use them however you want to use them. So everything I showed you with the shorts camera is what the students will see when they're recording their FLIPGRID topics, okay? And ultimately, that is what FLIPGRID, the FLIPGRID camera, what the FLIPGRID experience is about. So you create your topics under discussions. You can create personalized videos under shorts, and you're sharing it with your students. You're sharing these with your students so students can have a voice in how they're responding to the tasks. Okay, so I want to go through and I want to actually show you a couple examples here, because I have quite a few examples here that I want to show you. So ideas, take a look at this TikTok. This is a cool one because she gives you morning song, a visual schedule, daily teacher messages, reading popcorn, math problem, whiteboard instruction. She's like throwing out all of these different ideas of how to use FLIPGRID. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and look at each subject area and some examples of how other educators have used FLIPGRID. So in ELA, for example, there's this project with the Harlem Renaissance, and students were recording their own Harlem Renaissance poems using FLIPGRID. Isn't that cool? They were writing the poems and recording it. And here's another example for the littles. Storybook parade. They choose their book characters, dress up like the character, record a summary, and then they present it on FLIPGRID, especially when they can't be together. By the way, this is my daughter when she was like, I don't know, if maybe a couple years old. She's now 17. I needed to find a picture of a storybook. Socratic seminars. I love Socratic seminars. I did them all the time with my students. It's you can use FLIPGRID to do it now when students are not physically together. You provide the topic, students state their position, and they reply to each other and extend the conversation. Okay, and then they're commenting on each other and giving each other feedback based on what the topic is. Okay.
His dog then noticed he got the loafer, so he went in the house to get it. When little Tim came back, his dog was in the mouth, and the dog was smelly. Little Tim was very mad after he cleaned. After he cleaned his dog, the dog wasn't smelly anymore.
So the student is doing the pre-writing and the brainstorming, and they're reading their essays using FLIPGRID and giving each other feedback using the FLIPGRID, right? Okay. I know I'm throwing out these ideas, and I'm sure you have lots of ideas, so share some in the chat. What's sparking in your minds right now? What ideas do you have for ELA or for writing? I see Dora, you say you teach 100% MSO and the students really love it. Excellent. So what ideas do you have for engagement so far based on what you've seen? So let's talk about math. How does it look in math? Take a look at the features that are part of FLIPGRID. You have the inking features, you have the stickers, and you have the emojis, and they come with all these shapes and sizes. And guess what? You can use the boards and the inking and the math stickers to work out problems, and students can do that right on the screen, right on the FLIPGRID camera. Okay, so they are using the math features. They can do problem solving using the whiteboard to show math problems. Students explain how they solve a math problem using the whiteboard, like not literally a whiteboard, but the whiteboard in FLIPGRID, right? So they're explaining their.
Hello, today we will be doing this right here, as you can see. Okay, we'll put them in a box right here, and be sure to put them in the right spots, and we will cross multiply them with like 8 times 3 right here, and we have 24.
And since this isn't really a number, we'll just put this together 5 times. So
But you get the point, right? The student is explaining the process, the thinking process, and they're doing it. They don't have to be on camera, but they are showing their learning. Authentic real world application. So the students do math stories, find math in real life. Maybe they go around taking pictures of buildings that have geometrical shapes. They go shopping with their parents and they discuss taxes and tips and and discounts and things like that. Or they do financial planning and they record that. So how can you apply FLIPGRID and math in the real world setting so students can record these experiences? And of course, if you've never heard of a flip hunt is a FLIPGRID fun game, right? It's a scavenger hunt, but done on FLIPGRID. So basically, you create multiple topics that students would explore, and it's all a part of one activity. And so the FLIPGRID, the flip hunt becomes them trying to solve these different topics or these different activities that you're presenting to them. And once they get to the last one, they've completed the scavenger hunt or the flip hunt. But the flip hunt is supposed to be interactive. It's supposed to be fun. You should try to make each activity like tied into the different learning styles. So it's not all, okay, read this and record this. You want to mix it up so the students are using movement, and you want to tailor the task to meet the different learning styles of your students. So here's an example of a math flip hunt. The teacher says here, Dr. Leslie says she tackled their first flip hunt. Students reported it to be very challenging, productive struggle, and mathematical discourse was everywhere. It was really fun to witness and coach. I was able to see the areas of struggle for us to continue our learning. So even though the students struggle, they were able to learn. They were able to go through that learning process, which is the most important part. Not always getting the right answer. Dora, I will give you a link to the flip hunt so that you can see exactly how to how to get into the flip hunt and how to create it and so on. But it's really what you create. Like, so this example here that that teacher was talking about, what she did was she had 9 topics. And for each of these topics, the students had to record a video. So it's multiple topics that you create that the students respond to. So topic 1, come up with a division, cheer, jingle, ad, or song. So you see that it's not just write on a board or answer a question. It involves movement. It involves thinking. So you want to create the flip hunt with the idea of addressing all your students' needs. Okay. They're, tapping into the different learning styles. But I will add to the chat a link to what a flip hunt is. Here is another example, geometry flip hunt. Take a look at this one. The students were taking pictures and finding geometrical shapes in different things around their classrooms or their homes, right? And that was their flip hunt to find that. So they may have had different shapes that they had to find, and that was what their flip hunt was. So, okay, we're getting close. So next we'll talk about science. Lots of features that you can use from FLIPGRID for science. They have lots of partners that they work with, like Minecraft. I'm sure you're familiar with Minecraft. Wonderopolis, Code.org, Lego, even Nearpod, and you can get FLIPGRID topics that have already been curated by these partners related to science, and just go with those. So here's some examples, experiments and models. So students can do their investigations and record it with FLIPGRID. They can do data analysis and collection and record the process on FLIPGRID. An invention of a model, recording their models. And these are actual real life teacher examples of FLIPGRID topics, evaluating evidence, predictions, comparisons, virtual field trips. All of that ties into science. Right?
Typically higher temperatures were better for solar panels than those with typically lower temperatures. For this project, I needed a solar panel, a heat lamp, a battery, a solar charge controller.
Right? Do you see how they were explaining their project? So you can have a full-blown science fair digitally with students and their Flipgrid topics. They can go through the inquiry process, right? Using different the elaborative interrogation learning strategy. They can ask and respond to how and why types of questions. That's what this teacher did, using Flipgrid with the inquiry process. And they would record and respond to each other. All that ties into design thinking. And I know design thinking is big in Miami-Dade County Public Schools, especially for that middle school redesign. So you're exposing them to the design thinking process as well, and they're using Flipgrid. So, you know, you give them topics. What do you wonder about? What further questions do you have? Take two ideas from what you've read and tell how they are similar and how they are different. And they're responding to these tasks using Flipgrid. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the next part, social studies? I know I'm going fast. I'm trying to get all of it to you in the 1 hour. All right. So in social studies, again, lots of partners. You could see here, each of these thumbnails represent different partners that Flipgrid has. And I'm going to show that to you in the Discovery Library so you can see exactly how to get there. So in social studies, geography, virtual field trips. There was one teacher that did a zombie apocalypse with her students. Okay, she said students at whatever middle school use Flipgrid to show how they would use geography to survive a zombie apocalypse. That sounds pretty interesting. Skype in the classroom, and you're going to see how Skype in the classroom now is part of Flipgrid. Scavenger hunts about global trends, right? Going to different countries and looking at trends, you know, about trends related to natural disasters, or trends related to food or to clothing or whatever it is. So they can document journeys as well using Flipgrid. Research, they can document their research. Think about, like, let's say they were studying historical figures. They can use Flipgrid to take on the role of that historical figure and talk about their life. Perspectives and voices from other cultures and countries. And Flipgrid has a feature called Grid Pals, which I'm going to show you. Think of pen pals, but for this generation of children. It's virtual pen pals, ultimately, is what Grid Pals are. So you see here, the students in their government class led mock presidential campaigns using Flipgrid to record their campaign ads. How awesome was that? All right. And research, of course, research, retellings of historical figures, contributions of different peoples and cultures, cultural comparisons, future professions, current events, news reports. These are all ideas of what students can do on Flipgrid. And again, it all comes from what teachers have done with their students. Okay, now I think we're almost, I think this is our last, well, we have one more to go, but then I'm gonna jump into the Flipgrid and show you the Discovery Library. So engagement in the arts. I know that Ms. Cooper, you have lots that you've done with your students with the arts. So I want you to share a little bit. You can definitely do performances, right? With Flipgrid, orchestra from home, creating instruments and sharing it, singing self-portraits. And actually, a teacher actually did a singing self-portrait activity with her students, or just doing warm-ups. Visual arts. Take a look at the artwork that the students created here, and they were presenting the artwork using Flipgrid.
Hi, this city's name is Steveville. The location on this city is on Earth. Kids in the city love to play outside.
So that's the time one example. So Miss Cooper, you want to talk just real quick on some of the things that you've done with Flipgrid? Because you've been a Flipgrid user for a while now.
Yeah, thank you. I'm using Flipgrid as actually an assessment tool for my music students. I have it up. I won't share screen, or can I share screen?
You should. Do you have the screen share option?
Yeah.
Yeah, try.
Okay, let me see if I can really fast. And let's see. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it says RHMS keyboard for Richmond Heights Middle School keyboard period 3. I have put a logo there as you suggested at the very beginning. And I have my students, I by class, someone asked in the chat if, how to set up your topics, but I have my topics set up by class. And my students have to do weekly or daily playing segments because they have maybe a large piece to play. So I give them 4 measures at a time. So with that, I have a student, they have to say a greeting. Hello, my name is, and I'm going to just give you an example of one student playing her piano piece. Okay, let's see if she used the tag. So that was just an example quickly of how I use it as a tool. She didn't say her greeting. But she used the filter to be able to say what she was supposed to say, because I don't know why. But other than that, they all use the frames that you suggested and the filters. And as part of their playing test weekly or daily, every other day, they have to do so many measures and then, of course, play the final piece as part of their playing test. So I've been using FLIPGRID as a means to keep my students engaged through this half virtual, half physical students in school.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Cooper. And just a little background, Ms. Cooper was my teacher when I was in middle school. So she's known me forever.
And I thank you for sharing your knowledge. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. All right, so let's get right back in it so I can show you some of the Discovery Library things in FLIPGRID. So just some other examples, and I've seen some virtual shows happen on FLIPGRID, talent shows, art shows, variety shows, choir performances. People have really taken FLIPGRID to like a whole nother level. It's really great what folks are doing. I would suggest, like, if you're looking for ideas, go on Twitter and just search FLIPGRID, hashtag FLIPGRID, or hashtag FLIPGRID language arts or FLIPGRID math, and see what comes up, because you'll see what teachers are doing. In terms of parental support, you can have a FLIPGRID set up for them. That can be like a Q&A corner for them to access, to ask questions and get responses. It could be a place where students share reflections about their learning, kind of like a digital portfolio for the parents to be able to see what their kids are learning. You can send welcome meet and greet messages, morning messages, and homework help as well for parents. There was, let me see if this will play. There was a nice, here it is, this option. Take a look at this. But you see how the teacher recorded the video for the parents? She used the QR code and the FLIPGRID AR option using the QR code for the parents to be able to listen and see her so that they can better help their students with the homework. You can do STEM activities with teachers. This example, these are just parent interviews, and they're watching the interviews by parents in the classroom. So the parents record, this particular parent was talking about September 11th. What a great way to get different cultures and perspectives by having the parents and the grandparents and the family members record and share that. Okay, so those are just some ways that you can get parental involvement. If you go to help.flipgrid.com, that's where you can go to find anything you need to know. If you need to find out about what is it called? The flip hunts. You could go there and find out about the flip hunts. So what I want to do really quick in our last few minutes that we have together is show you the Discovery Library, because that's going to be the next best place that you're going to go to on the FlipGrid platform. So when you go into your FlipGrid account, you sign in, you're going to go onto the second option here in your toolbar that says Discovery Library. Now, don't get overwhelmed because there's going to be a lot of information, right? There's a lot because FlipGrid has a lot of topics. If you look here, it says there are 34,659 topics that are created by the FlipGrid community. This means you don't have to start from scratch. You can look and search for what you're looking for without having to start from scratch and then add it to your library to then give your students. What I want to show you here where it says partners, I'm going to click view all under partners so you can see all of the partners. These are all of the partners that FlipGrid has, that FlipGrid works with to create content. So let's say you were looking for a virtual experience for students to go in to learn about, related to social studies. So I'm going to go to the World War II Museum, see what they have. Let's say I wanted to find something related to, maybe for Black History Month. So I'm going to search Tuskegee just because I know that there's one here for a veteran that was a Tuskegee Airman. So for this, there's a video interview with the Tuskegee Airmen, and it also has questions and even a website link and even integration notes just for you to see how you could teach this to your students. If this is a topic that you want to use and actually have students respond to, you would click add topic, and it would add that topic to your library so that you can then assign it to your students with your own code for your students to respond to. So this is a 4-minute video. That's pretty much a guest speaker experience that the students have. This is just one example. So if you go into, again, the FlipGrid library and look at the partners, and if you're looking for something specific, maybe you're looking for, oops, let me X out of there. Maybe you're looking for something, look at the ESL library. That's a new integration that they have. The ESL library, look, there's Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, there are 32 topics. Look at all of these different topics. Let's say you wanted to teach your students about one of these individuals. Just click on the topic, all right? So I'm gonna click on, let's click on Obama and see what pops up here. Okay, so there is a quote, there's some integration notes, and there's some links here. You can add the topic, and then you can, give your students whatever this particular task was. So I would say if you are just getting started with FlipGrid, I would say to come to the Discovery Library. I would search for something that I'm looking for, whatever ties into my subject area, and see what already exists for it. Add those topics to my library, and if I need to customize them, you can customize them and then assign it to your students. Or if you have something really simple, like, just a welcome that you want students to, getting to know you type of thing, just create your own topic and just go from there. The last thing here I want to show you is Grid Pals, in case you're interested. Grid Pals, remember I talked about Pen Pals, but just for this generation of kids. So there are lots of teachers who are connected to the Grid Pals all over the world, not just in the United States, in the world. All of these little plus signs indicate Grid Pals that you have. Look how many there are. And so if you were looking to connect with a classroom in another country, you go to the Grid Pals and you would just select a plus sign, and you can send an invite to a teacher, and you all could connect and get your classes connected to do, maybe a lesson together, or maybe you could do a Teams meeting together or something like that. So you would just explore the Grid Pals, learn a little bit more about it, and you can become a Grid Pal yourself. And this is just your way of being able to connect with teachers. All right, I've taken 2 minutes more of your time. There's a lot. There's a lot with Flipgrid, but hopefully this gave you a really nice overview of it, and you got some ideas. You got some ideas that you can now take and apply to your to your saying. So I'll stop here. Audrey, you have your hand up still.
Don't forget, I'm sorry, don't forget the link for the hand.
For the
Okay,
yeah, I'll add that right now. Audrey, did you see questions from the chat?
No, I was saying my hand won't go down. Sorry.
All right,
I'll hit down, and it just gives me the option to spotlight myself, and I don't want to do that. I don't see any other. If we missed any questions, please ask them now. I'm seeing lots of wonderful comments, and yeah.
What are the mixtapes? That mixtape section.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about that. So the mixtapes is, okay, think about back in the 90s when we would create mixtapes. We would put it would be a compilation of our songs, right? Basically, it's a compilation of your favorite videos. So you could create a mixtape. Maybe you want to create a mixtape just for this particular project. You select the videos that you just want to highlight, and you put that on a mixtape. So it's just you putting together different videos from different students, and creating a mixtape for it that you share with one link.
Okay.
Okay, I just added the flip font.
Thank you.
It's
I can see it now. Thank you.
Okay.
And Michelle, this is Miss Cooper. I'm just saying I'm going to do a mixtape as a recital for my students, a piano recital. I'm going to be putting their playing test, but they have to do it more formal when they submit.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Awesome. What other ideas do you guys have that you're planning on doing? I saw some of you were taking notes. What ideas came up? What ideas did you like?
I will start to discover the discover thing that I just discovered.
Discover library. Well, that's a great way to start.
That I just discovered. So thank you so much. Thank you for your
Will
help.
we be able to rewatch this again?
Yes. We are going to. I'll send you guys the recording, a stream to it.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Miss Velasquez, if you don't mind, I don't know if you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Ms. Pills. Ms. Velasquez, can you respond to did you see my email regarding the grant ceremony?
Yes, that's why I wanted to sign up for the FLIPGRID webinar. To see how to do it, because I
able to attend.
Huh?
I need you to just let me know if you're able to attend.
Oh, I have to RSVP. That's right. Okay.
That's right. And
okay. Yes.
Principal and your friends and your family. Dr. Vega, did you reply yet? Are you able to attend? Oh, you're muted. Okay, you're nodding though. Okay, make sure you RSVP to me, please.
Sorry, I was muted. I haven't replied yet. I will do so when we finish here.
Awesome. Thank you. And Terry, I know you're coming. You look good today, Miss Terry.
I do.
A little bit of a glow going on. What's happening?
No. Very tired.
Oh,
I'm gonna do my FLIPGRID today. I think that's a lot of reason we're all here.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm so happy to hear that. But I hope you guys will use this in your classrooms as well.
Oh, absolutely. I've already used it in the classroom. No, it's fantastic. It's awesome.
I'm so happy to see you guys excited about this. We've got and bye, Ms. Pills, and we have more grant writing webinars coming because we've opened up the call for proposals for our disseminators for 2021 Expo in the fall and our innovative grants for next year. I know there's so much going on.
Audrey, about the webinar for the podcasting, I missed that one, but I don't see it on YouTube.
Because it didn't record properly. So yes, I'm doing more. I'm gonna do one. Actually, what we did the first one was pretty basic. And the next one that I'm doing is going to be much more detailed.
Okay, great. Awesome.
I've actually got a real podcast producer that's going to lead it.
All right, great.
So yeah, awesome. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing all of you at our grant ceremony if you're coming, and I look forward to getting your FLIPGRIDs. And I've been sitting here reading through these innovative grants from the past year because I'm writing up the program book, and you guys are so awesome. Like, I just am so impressed with so many of the teachers in this district and how hard you work. So thank you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Oh, Audrey, I'm sorry. One more question. Our guests for the ceremony, the email is because you're sending them a link?
That's correct.
Okay.
Or you can send a link, but we just like to have an idea of how many people are planning to attend.
Okay.
You know, because for this event, remember, our board members and our donors attend, and so we want to show them a strong turnout. Like, hey, look, this is who we have engaged with us, so they can keep giving us money and keep working on our behalf, so that we can be able to fund all of these webinars and trainings. And Michelle's great, but she doesn't work for free, nor would we ask her to. And also for the, for the money that we give you guys for the leading a workshop at our expo, all the grant money that we give. So when we can show our donors a good turnout, it just can't hurt. It'll help a lot. So even if you can't stay the whole time, just turn your Zoom on and leave if you have to, but just.
How long do you think it will take just to
I mean, it's going to be an hour, but you don't have to stay the whole time,
No,